Well, hello, and welcome. Thanks for joining us. My name is ER Wolf with 1QR, and I'm joined with my business partner, Guy Toole. And we're so excited to have you for today's webinar as we talk about 1QR in real estate. And Guy, I know this is a close to home subject for you, and we're super excited to be talking about it because as we look at the ever evolving real estate market, there really is a massive opportunity to embed technology to help brokers and agents find more buyers, win more listings, and really at the end of the day, sell more properties. And that's what this webinar is all about.
Definitely an excitement because I'm married to a realtor. So being able to see QR codes advance her business, I mean, she's a top producer anyways, but being able to see one QR improve the sales metrics. Like homes are on for less amount of time. They're getting higher than listing pricing. And being able to see where they're being implemented in her marketing is something that was very enlightening for us. So that's why we said we have to get 1QR and we have to really focus on this real estate market. There's 1.5 million licensed agents in the United States. And I know we notice in different markets how they work well with each other and how some don't work well with each other. But the real estate market is that highly networked. We want to the givers gain. We want to help people out, and you see those people that are implementing different types of things, talk to other people and say, hey, try this out. This has really helped me in my sales, my marketing, my advertising. And we're seeing that happening right now in front of our eyes. So
Yeah.
excited to go through 1QR in real estate. And I think what a lot of people identify is well, where do I implement QR codes? And they don't, a lot of people, it's not just your sign. In fact, some of your businesses restrict you from having QR codes. Yes, 1QR looks like it could be a phenomenal real estate company. We're not. We're utilizing this as a demonstration. But it's not just signs. It's where can I implement 1QR dynamic QR codes into all of my marketing.
And I think you bring up a big point. You just said dynamic. Not all QR codes are equal in today's day and age. In fact, there's a major difference between QR codes that if you're watching this webinar, you really want to pay attention right now because traditional QR codes and QR codes, quick response codes have been around for a long time. Traditional ones tended to be static. So what does that mean? Static means once you create the code, you can never change it. You can never update it. If you print it out and something in the future needs to be changed, guess what? You're creating a whole new code. You're reprinting all of this material. And I know from the real estate agent perspective, you're trying to be cognizant on what your marketing budget is allowing you to spend your capital on and where you're getting the best return on investment for those. And just looking at this yard sign, and that's typically as a real estate novice what I think of when I think about a property listing. I would hate to have to be printing or buying a new yard sign for every property. So what's a dynamic code, Guy?
The dynamic is the ability to constantly adjust it forever. It's evergreen, right? I can print it once and direct where it goes to from a scan aspect, the destination forever. I can have something that's active today that is sold tomorrow and 2 or 3 days later adjust it to a new listing and
Yep.
never have to reprint that. So that's extremely powerful from a dynamic aspect. You want to make sure if you're in charge of your sales and your marketing, your advertising, which I know a lot of us are in real estate, you want to be in control of that maximum exposure element. A QR code is really that door or that key to that door to open up access to you, to your listings, to get more information. And I know you had said, as a novice, you're thinking real estate and where can I have QR codes? Ideally, for a lot of people, it goes to that yard sign. But one of the most powerful places to utilize 1QR is in your sign writer. And it's not just while that home is being listed, because when that home is being listed, you can have your QR code that gives a virtual tour, the photos, multiple different destinations that you want to decide where it goes to. But once that home is sold, I want to have that information up there that it's sold. I want to have the information up there about me, because while it's being listed, while it's not under contract yet, the the value of the QR code is to highlight the home. But once it's sold, the value of that QR code is to highlight me as the realtor. I can sell in this neighborhood. I can sell in this market. You know, right? We have to face it. There's tough times. The market's a little bit tough out there. Interest rates are a little bit higher than most people have experienced over the last couple years. Maybe we're in a normal market, but understanding that I can get the home sold. If neighbors around are looking to potentially sell their homes, they can look at that QR code and say, hey, that realtor, they know this market, they know our neighborhood, and I might as well reach out to them to help support in selling our home.
Yeah, and I think going beyond signage, and I know there's lots of signage that real estate agents use in all different types of places, and I think we'll touch on some of those a little bit later on. There's also a lot of print collateral that I see agents use. In fact, when I walk by and sometimes I see that grab a brochure for this property sitting on the sign. It has all this wealth of information, and I want to be able to understand what I want to know about the property, right? Like, what does the property look like inside? If it's not an open house, am I going to get some pictures or maybe a video tour? We want people to understand, we want agents to understand that you don't just have to link this to the property listing, right? The brochure or other print marketing can link to all types of information about the property, or Guy, as you highlighted, once the property's sold, about you, the agent, and your ability to sell the next property or properties that might be similar to the property that has recently sold. So everything from going to the listing site for the property to seeing an inspection report or learning about the neighborhood itself, all of those are critical components, in my opinion, as a person who's purchased a home and is always looking at properties in the neighborhood that people want to learn about when they're shopping around for a new home.
When you're a listing agent, and a lot of people know they have their flyer box, and I'm going to put 25, 50 in, and that's me reporting back at the end of every week to my seller that, oh well, I filled it up with 50 and there's 30 gone. So we might have interest of 30, knowing that maybe one of the neighbors had used it because their dog had gone to the bathroom and they had to grab that. That doesn't give you real access. Where scanning and what we love about OneQR is real-time analytics, knowing what's happening. So I can go into my analytics at the end of the week and give a report to my seller saying, well, we're getting active scanning happening this amount of times or these days during this time. I think another thing that we can point out here on this slide is in advertising. A lot of realtors advertise in magazines. And my wife, for example, advertises in multiple magazines and some very, very high-end magazines. And when you go to print, you have to have a lot of the collateral to the printer a month before that goes out or goes to print. And there's times the home that's in the advertising and the QR code, that the destination to the home, that home is sold once it is printed. She gets the ability to dynamically adjust where that QR code goes. So it might be information about her if she doesn't have another listing that is similar, or maybe it is to her MLS or her listing site, that someone can have real interactive experiences with that print media. So we'll definitely talk about additional print media, but that's just something that we want to get those gerbils spinning sometimes on how to implement OneQR and how to utilize it in our marketing.
Yeah, I think part of it is where as an agent can I place a QR code, right? Whether it's my print marketing material, my status of the neighborhood stuff, or flyers, or postcards I might be sending out on the sign writer. And a great example that I think has a phenomenal potential to help drive buyers to the property, especially if you're doing an open house, is a QR code that might link to a map to get to the open house. All too often, my wife and I, we drive into a neighborhood we've never been in. Here in Colorado, they're like mazes. And it's, honey, keep your eye out for the next sign so that we can get to this open house and check out the property. If we entered the neighborhood and scanned a map that took me straight to that location, wow, that just saved me so much time and energy, and made the agent who's hosting the open house, their credibility go even higher in my eyes. But do I have to print a open house sign for every single property I'm doing an open house for?
No, I mean it's a dynamic QR code. You put it in one location going into a neighborhood, and we experience it all the time where a realtor may be having a couple open houses in the exact same neighborhood, that they can dynamically adjust the QR code while they're driving from the first open house to the second open house. And they don't have to go and pick up signs and have the arrow pointed in a different direction or get it 2 streets over to get to the right location. You essentially are providing them a dynamic link for them to scan that is the GPS for them to come right into the neighborhood, go directly where they need to go, not worry about getting lost. As you mentioned, there's neighborhoods that are mazes, and get you directly to the front step as the buyer. Reduce the friction, really become the implementer, or allow people to implement easy access to what they're looking to do and where they're supposed to go from your open house. I mean, it hopefully it makes sense. I think it was one thing, when we first started talking about it, was an aha. Like, yes, that is so simple. I can print these once. I can dynamically adjust them. I can dynamically adjust them multiple times a day throughout the weeks. Whenever I have a listing, I can get someone directly to the front step of the home of where the open house is.
Yeah, and I think you mentioned it. It's not just about promoting the property, but it's also about promoting ourselves and our services as an agent. Not only do we want buyers to find us, we want sellers to find us. We want to win listings. And when we sit down and introduce ourselves to somebody, when we talk about all the things that we're going to do to promote their property and get it sold for top dollar, or create those, bidding wars or multiple offers, we want to show them that we are on top of our game, and we are just as immersed in technology as we should be. And I think things like even leaving your business card behind, whether you're doing the open house, whether you're visiting with a potential seller, you want to connect with them and simplify that connection. Most people don't understand QR stands for quick response. Would I rather encourage somebody to type in a phone number or a web address, or pull out the smartphone that we all know we all have in our pocket and carry around with us, open the camera, and just scan to interact or engage with what I want them to engage with, where I want that to go, whether it's the listing, whether it's my site, whether it's sales activity in the neighborhood, or seeing if you qualify for pre-qualification or the inspection report. That's really what it boils down to: is what are you doing right now in your marketing, your promotion, and your advertising? And if you created a checklist of that, which of those pieces, whether it's print, signage, etc., are you leveraging QR codes on today? And if you're not, where is the opportunity to, sort of pun intended, widen or open the door for more people to engage with you? We see bus benches, we see the billboards. All of these are great places to add that extra element to connect. And the stats are obviously speaking about why this is so critical. And when we can take that experience and that engagement with the prospective seller or buyer and expand it digitally, there's only so much you can print on a sign. There's only so much you can put on a business card or within a brochure. But when you link it to something digitally, now you've created even more real estate to put more information on for those prospective sellers and buyers.
Interactive call to actions.
That's
It's
right.
it's it's call to actions on the home, the neighborhood, yourself, but it's not just your contact information. We can look at, how can I get my marketing package, my sales package
Yeah.
utilized on a QR code? It's interactive. I want to have interaction with buyers, sellers. Show sellers I can sell their home. Show buyers that the home that I'm listing is, I will give you the best experience. We will work together and make sure that you feel like you're not short-ended on your end, that we're purchasing the best home available to you by what has been presented to you. We're not trying to hide anything. QR codes, they're, you said quick response,
Yep.
interactive. We live in a world of convenience. People are looking for the most convenient, quickest way. So let's get to that next transaction. And QR codes are the element that's going to do this by implementing them into our marketing.
Well, and I think, as we begin to wind down today's webinar, majority of people understand and know that QR codes are going to be an important part of how we connect with our prospective audiences. In fact, our industry research, we're expecting to see an explosion of the usage of QR codes within the US market, almost a 10x over the next 3 years, guys. And that, in my mind, speaks volumes about if I was going out implementing marketing material and ads, that I should strongly be considering, how do I implement QR codes? Where am I going to create them? Do I have to be technical to create them? Are they easy to create? Are they easy to track? Are they easy to manage? And if so, just how easy is it? So what we've done is we're going to watch a brief demo on just how easy it is to create, track, and manage codes within one QR.
We're excited to show you how to make your first one QR code. The first step is deciding where you want this QR code to take the user. Type in your destination link and hit continue. You can choose a color and personalize it to your branding. Hit continue. You can also change the shape or symbols that are inside of the QR code. Personal preference, up to you. Again, click continue. Go ahead and click I agree to the terms and conditions and hit finish. So you've created your very first one QR code. From here, you can do several different actions. You can edit the QR code. You can name the QR code, letting yourself know where you're placing this QR code. For example, maybe this one is going on my business card. By naming the QR codes that you're using, you're able to get analytics in different places that you're doing marketing. My destination link is editable at any time. I can choose an image if I'd like to put an image in the center of the QR code, or I can drag a file of a photo or a logo and upload that instead. I can change the color at any time, and I can also change the shapes inside the QR code. At this point, I'm going to hit save. My QR code has been edited, and it's ready for download and for me to print on any product. I can download from either the download button or by going to the QR code. You can see here that I have a link, a short link, and a PNG file available to me. If you're needing an SVG file for a large print, you're going to need to upgrade to our Pro or Unlimited solution. Back to the main menu, my other options are analytics and sharing. The analytics will appear and be available once this QR code becomes scanned. For example, if I was to open this QR code and scan it with my phone, and then refresh my page, you'll see that I have one scan and my analytics have become active. I can track year, month, week, or day and see how many times this QR code has been scanned.
That's great. Simple, easy, takes a couple of minutes to set up, Guy, and infinitely updatable, trackable, downloadable, very simple to create, add your branding, and then send it off to whatever marketing print shop or other provider that you use within your business. Now, there are several different subscriptions we offer within one QR. What you just saw with that sign up flow in the demo is part of the free offering with one QR that we have available to everybody. But you're probably going to want multiple QR codes. In fact, I would personally recommend you get multiple QR codes to link to different things. You're going to have QR codes that are just on your open house signs or the sign writers. So there is a pro package that allows for up to 50 QR codes. Again, we only offer dynamic codes, so they're infinitely updatable. So you create 10 QRs for each of your 10 sign writers, and you're able to point them and change them between listings, etc. If you need more, we have an unlimited package available, all for whatever is best going to suit you and your needs. All right, guys.
Very simple. I think that's the biggest thing is simplicity, cost effective, value. I'm seeing the package here and being able to identify just how many QR codes I need in my marketing of my business with one QR in real estate. So we are in Q&A. If anyone has questions, you can fill that out in the Q&A section below in the Zoom here. We do have some that are coming in live as well.
I've got one right here that I see. How often can I change the link that goes to a QR code? You said evergreen versus static, dynamic versus static. Does one QR let me do it one or two times?
A dynamic QR code allows you to adjust that QR code link to go anywhere, anytime, day or night, the infinite amount of times. So you can adjust where that QR code goes. You can adjust it for testing. You can adjust it from property A to property B in real time and never, ever have to reprint that QR code.
In fact, Guy, if I can be so bold to add, there's a one QR mobile app for Android and iPhone, and you talked about going from one open house to another. As soon as I put that open house sign in the trunk and go to the next neighborhood, by the time I pull it out to place it again, I could have it pointing to the new open house destination. Takes about, 30 seconds to update a QR code, and I could do it every day if I wanted to, multiple times per day.
Right. We got another one coming in. Is it important that the scanner knows where the QR code leads? If you're able to hear me on that, ER.
Is it important that the scanner knows where the QR code leads? Absolutely. In fact, you want to build some context. In the industry, we call this the wrapper around your QR codes, so that the person who's scanning the code understands what to expect when they scan the code. You don't just want to have a code floating on a white background with no context. Sure, there's some curiosity that might get a few scans, but if you say scan here for the inspection report, then the person who's scanning is going to expect to see the inspection report after scanning that. If you say scan here to view the virtual tour or to get directions to the property, you're setting that expectation for the scanner. And that's a big thing that will help generate even more scans of your QR codes.
Right. We have one here. Would it be possible to set this up so someone who scans the code could bring up an offer to buy contract to complete or fill out email information? And to to answer that, you can designate your QR code to go wherever you want it to. The knowing that there's a lot of realtors that utilize some private sign company or signature companies like a what is a company I'm thinking of, from a signature. Um, well, it'll come to me eventually, but where I'm going to take documentation and send it via email for you to sign in a DocuSign. Thank you. A DocuSign is what I was looking for. You can link your QR code to a DocuSign. You can also specifically tag or label that QR code so you know specifically who you're sending it to. When they're scanning, you know that it's going directly to that individual for the security. The security element's going to be taken on your end on where you want to have that QR code to go to.
Well, and because you get to choose where your QR code links within the one QR interface, you can link it to virtually anything. If you do have that DocuSign, if you do have an email you want people to send, you could say submit your offer here, and they scan it, and it pulls up a Google form that they fill out. Again, the choice is yours as the person who controls where that QR goes. And the best part is once something adjusts, it's about a 10-second to 30-second change to update where you're pointing that QR code. I did see a question here on pricing. I do recommend go to oneqr.com for all the current pricing on those subscription packages. Free is free. Obviously, you want to check out for the Pro and the Unlimited to see if those are going to be worth it for you. Oneqr.com for all the current pricing.
So that sort of brings us to wrapping this up. One QR in real estate. If you'd like, go ahead and read PDF that we have available. You can download our white paper in One QR in real estate. It's a great read, promise you. To give you ideas on how to implement QR codes in your marketing, your advertising, your sales of real estate. And as always, you can follow us on our socials. We will be having more presentations. Well, we actually have such an excitement and people reaching out to us from One QR in real estate that we will be presenting multiple times. Another time this month, a few times next month, and the following month. This quarter is going to be action-packed with QR codes in real estate. And we're cutting a lot of additional training videos, idea videos. So keep a lookout for those. We will have those posted in our social as well as available from our video library at oneqr.com. So from myself, I enjoyed this. One QR in real estate can be extremely powerful and beneficial for us in our marketing and advertising of ourselves, of our listings. And if you know anyone else who is looking to have a little extra thing in their quiver of marketing to help them get maximum exposure, have them take a look at oneqr.com. And One QR in real estate is a great focus. We're excited to be able to have you join us, take a look, take it for a test drive, and we'll see you on the next one. Take care.
Thanks, everybody.